we probably post link in places.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I
love how we always go live just after or just before we think about other stuff.
No, I mean posting the link is something that is perfectly fine to happen.
This is always in the VOD.
Fair enough. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's like 5 seconds, 6 seconds that like doesn't show up before when you actually do go live. So, it probably still says night 1, doesn't it?
Almost certainly.
It's fine. This makes it real.
Welcome to behind the scenes, Karamat. we make it look so.
It's pre-show. It doesn't matter.
I think we're live. This is all stuff.
Yeah, exactly. This is live pre-show. As they say in iCarly, let's do that iCarly. Wait, hold on. That doesn't sound right.
Also, I'm really trying to get Jeremy or Jimmy to respond to me because I am so down for trading people for having to watch Ted Lasso.
Oh, double hitting there.
That would be fun. Trade for that.
What's that?
I'm running out of people that I can trade for that. I'm down to
like high. So I was the Mariners or the Marlins GM 2 years ago. I was not used to having like actual karma to trade. The Mariners have got some karma to trade. Like,
Jack, are you wearing a Mariners jersey under a vest?
Yes, I am, sir.
Love it.
Also, I'm sweating to death because this MacBook does not like to cool.
Yeah.
MacBooks and fans. Name 2 things that do not go together.
Name 2 more iconic enemies.
Right?
Where have you posted the link to this, by the way?
I have just posted it in the Discord Turnstiles. I'll post it in Stram Planning too. And if somebody can post it in the thread that is not me, that'd be great.
Why can't you post it in the thread?
Because I'm running the stream, Dan.
No, that would do it.
Give me a second and I'll get it.
Thank you, Jack.
No problem. Do you want it as deadline commission?
Yeah. Post it actually in the OP, and then also if you want to do it in the comment as well.
Cool. We'll do.
Hello. Hayamez looks like some sort of bot, so that's gonna go. Good vibes. Free Alex Jones. Good vibes. I appreciate it. It's if it was ironic, then well.
Is Alex Jones not free? I was under the impression that he was free.
I thought he was an American.
He got removed from all of the platforms. He got deplatformed. I think that's
I thought
what
he was an American.
I believe that's what they mean by free Alex Jones.
Oh, that'll do it. That makes sense.
Let me make Interrobang a moderator, because that's Joe.
Also, because that's a magnificent username, even if it isn't.
Sure, it is a great username. By the way, if you don't recognize all the faces, if you're watching right now, we have Commissioner Dan to this side of me. In fact, the only reason he's to that side of me is because he was giving me too much headroom, and I was like, oh, I can just put him higher. And then he started giving me less headroom, so I feel like it was a ploy to just be the bigger image.
No, I didn't see what you were doing, so I readjusted so I could be a normal size.
Yeah. Also, down at the bottom, from left to right, we have Lord Karamat, our Orioles GM. We've got it's a Factorial, Jeremy, and RLM Jackass. Everybody except for Karamat is in the Office of the Commissioner. Karamat, of course, as I said, our Orioles GM.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Dan, for taking care of that. I just finally got signed into Deadline Commission.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just
It's
posted
fine.
Cool, we're just waiting for a couple people to roll in. I'm sure people will be here, but how you guys doing tonight? Dan,
right.
You just moved. How'd that go?
It was exhausting. It was 90 degrees when we were moving, so that was a ton of fun, as you know.
I was told it was 93 in Human. Is it really that different in DC than in Virginia than in Baltimore?
No, it was exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was really bad, but We're in. We got through the worst day, which was all of the boxes in every room of the house. We had to eat dinner on the bed last night because it was the only free space we had.
You should use the box as a table, Dan.
Well, yeah, we should.
Find a particularly densely packed box.
I'm just like, oh, that's a good idea.
Was that actually? It's pretty inspiring.
Damn, Ryan, where were you yesterday?
Here, you could have messaged me.
Yeah, I know. Good. But yeah, my girlfriend didn't kill me yesterday, so I think we're looking good.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I finally have an office in the basement. Speaking of baseball, if anybody wants to come visit, you're more than welcome to. We have a nice little basement, and we're a 5-minute walk from a metro station that will take you right to Nats Park. So,
Dan, I fully intend to come visit.
Yes, Jack, I have a box of shoes for you too. If you ever actually do come by.
I promise to come by.
Okay, cool.
That's a very random thing to have for Jack.
It's a thing that he's had for me for.
I remember this conversation. They're too small for Dan,
and
right?
Say 2 months.
Yeah, it's way longer than 2 months. It's been a year.
Has it been a year?
Least.
I don't think it's been that long, but still.
But anyway, yeah, I'm good. How's everybody else doing?
Doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty good night at work, so happy about that.
Jack,
For those of you not in the Discord, Jack was sharing photos of the food from his work all day, and
That's
they
a
were
point.
looking great.
If anyone's interested, I'm gonna put Nime on the spot and say I will DM him pictures if there's a way for him to put them on stream. If not, oh well, and if not, without any interest, then oh well.
there is a way for me to put it on stream. Yes,
All right,
It'll-
I will.
Could we
might take a minute, but yeah.
get a slideshow set to time of your life?
Yes, that actually very much could happen. It's not going to, but it could. If you're watching, feel free to take the RBBWAA ballot in the Turnstiles chat in Discord right now. That is our voters for GM of the day and what else? Player of the day, trade of the day, commissioner of the day. Go ahead and if you'd like to, feel free to fill that out. You don't have to, but we're going to talk about it later on in the stream when we get there. We're still pre-show, rolling in. Karamat, this is your first time? Have you been on the old streams before, or is this the first time you've ever been on stream?
I was on some of the old streams. This is the face reveal though.
Face reveal. Look at that. Yeah. See, what happened is when other people run the streams, they're fine with having people not show their face. But
I'm sorry. When other people run the streams,
yeah.
Yes.
Like
What would that be?
when that year that I was out of the country.
We're going to need to go back to the forum real fast. I am not an available commissioner for Commissioner of the Day, so
Beautiful.
we're going to need to fix that.
I think that's Joe throwing shade.
All right. See if I ever let him in my house again.
that's right. There's only one person that's gonna win that.
I mean, Commissioner of the Day was Jeremy. He's the one who approved most of the trades. What happens is, literally the last 2 days, I've woken up at 5:45 Mountain Time to open trading because I don't know that anybody else is gonna do it. Like normally it was Alex's job, and Alex is off this year.
Tomorrow, maybe not, but every other day I can do it.
It's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind waking up early. It's just that
I'm awake at 2:30 Mountain Time every day. So
yeah, it's just like I'm
That's unfortunate.
I'm waking up at 5:45 Mountain Time to open trading, and then there's like nothing going on. I'm like, I'm just gonna like lie in bed with my eyes closed and keep notifications on, and then Jeremy's around to just keep approving trades while my eyes are closed. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll keep those eyes closed then.
You have caught up. You're only 19 behind me now.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
I had a good 30 trade lead for a while there.
Which is funny because you also like your break today was also my break today. That's when Young Joe was approving most of the trades.
I fully intend to be full-time commissioner tomorrow.
Hey, Fake Plastic Alex is in the chat.
Hey, fake plastic Alex! Make Plastic Alex, if you're interested, would you want to join the stream? I will extend this to you.
That's fine. I do
just
have a
because I
6 shot
imagine it
available.
will be
I have a
good,
6
but-
shot. So. I don't like getting up early, but I also do start a job next week that I have to, like wake up at a normal human time for. So it's good to like use the week that I
Good to practice,
like
too.
to get on a human sleep schedule instead of what I've been doing for the last year and a half, which is talking to Dan on a Google Meet until 6 in the morning. Because neither of us wants to sleep. That is the laugh of a man who has no retort because it's exactly what happens.
Oh yeah, 100% a lot.
Like, it'll be all of us. It'll be like Jeremy will be there sometimes, Jack will be there sometimes, Joe will be there, and then like it'll be me and Dan and also Jake Covain will also be on those chats. Like, it'll usually, honestly, at this point now, whenever Jake joins, it is Dan leaves because he has to go to bed. And it's me and Jake for the 15 minutes before I'm like, all right, I should probably go to sleep too. And Jake's like, yeah, I'm going to be up for the 2 hours. I'm like, all right, fine.
Or I would have joined before work when I woke up from bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some good streams.
We have had those moments where like where we leave at like I would say probably 2-ish mountain time is like we're finally like, all right, it's time to go to bed. And then Jack 20 minutes later is like, call still going maybe?
Is it?
And we're like, Jack, you just missed it. Which is
Okay,
true. It's
I
like
know I
like
have a-
literally those calls go till 4 a.m. Dan's time, and Dan has to work in the mornings. I don't know why you're up so late.
I do too, but I go to bed.
Yeah.
I go to bed with the chat still
Like I'll
going
get messages
and
from
wake up
I'll
and
get
it's
messages from
possibly
Jake the
good.
next day like, is Dan just one of those 4-hour sleepers? Like because we will be on a call till 4 a.m. Dan's time, and then Dan will be back in the chat at 8 a.m. his time because he's working.
Yeah, I've done that.
It's like, what is happening?
I've not enjoyed it.
But you do it. You do it so
I've done
often.
that. He says as if it's not a weekly
You do
occurrence.
it all the time. Like, I don't enjoy it. I mean, I do it pretty much every week, maybe twice a week, but I don't like it. Like, then why do you do it, Dan? I don't have a job. Like, I've got an excuse. I can sleep
What's your-
till 4 p.m. Yeah, Alex says Dan's new set is a look. It's because it's because he hasn't set anything up yet. He just got there.
It's hot to tell.
Look at that. He's got the. Is that a
It's a toolbox.
No,
Yeah.
above that. Is that a mic thing or is that a lamp?
It's a lamp.
That was a lamp.
It looks like one of those like mic shields. I have one in my closet.
It does look like a mic shield.
Right? Like
It's
from
not a
that
mic
from that
shield,
angle, it
no.
looks like a mic shield, right? And I know you did like
Yes,
some VO
Dan's
stuff.
recording audiobooks in his spare time.
That's actually what I'm looking to get into. I'm looking to change careers, so I want to do actually specifically Sabermetrics audiobooks. I think that's a good thing.
You
to
know
do,
what's
too.
funny?
But, like,
Very-
Because I
niche,
definitely
but-
I definitely listened to before it turned out that Jonah Carey is a total piece of shit. I listened to the audiobook for the extra 2%, like many years ago, and like it's very funny how many of the player names that the audiobook reader mispronounced. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, you couldn't get somebody who like knows enough about baseball to not mispronounce like Manuel Rivas or whatever. Is that a real player?
I just,
I don't know. Whatever.
that's fucking. I love. Oh man, that would have been. Mookie, there's so many great baseball names that would have been a fucking disaster for an audiobook guy who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very it's like, man,
Yeah.
like, and also
He gets you into some trouble.
again, like once again, Carey fully canceled. Do not support Jonah Carey anymore. But at the time, he was doing a podcast. Like, he was a guy who knew how to talk on a microphone. He could have read his own book.
On the topic of audiobooks with mispronounced or weirdly pronounced things, I was re-listening to The Martian the other day, and I love the book, love the audiobook, except for one thing. The narrator pronounces it kilometers. Like, puts the emphasis in a weird place.
Kilometers? That's
And it
so
just-
weird.
it's like kilometers. And it's like, that just, no.
Even kilometers would be like more acceptable.
Yes, we haven't played the soundtrack.
Yeah, Dan, it's pre-show until we play the theme song.
It's pre-show until it's iCarly.
Ah, right. Okay. Sorry, you're right. I forgot.
Although I think it's about time to do the theme song. So let me pull up the tab so I make sure I do it right this time. Unlike last night where I screwed up, as I always do.
I thought it was wonderful.
I did okay. I was like, oh, I missed a chord, but I can go back into it. It's not that big a deal.
It was character building, so.
It wasn't character. All right, let me go ahead and pause our Harris Heller stream beats here. As we hear a car pass through Jack's background again.
Yes, sorry. It's wonderful.
It's tremendous.
This is actually a Fast and the Furious 10 style
Yes.
advertisement. We're good doing guerrilla advertising.
Fasten your seatbelts. Hey, F9 in theaters right now. Quickly and angrily in theaters. Number 9 in theaters now.
Swift and pissed off.
Do I not have a pick? It doesn't matter. All right, fine.
Wait.
Did you say, does anyone have a
I'm
pick?
No, I said, do I
Wait,
not have a
rapid
pick?
And,
Okay.
rapid and raging.
Why, Dan, do you have a pick you can give me right now?
Yeah, let me just... That would be a great
Reach
pick.
over. Yeah, how funny. I should just like keep a pick on top of my camera so I can just like reach over and then grab the pick you handed me. That would be so fun. That's so interactive.
Wow, he handed you a yellow one and it turned orange when you grabbed it.
Listen, if we're preparing a bit, I have yellow picks. I prefer orange picks, but I have the yellow ones. All right, here we go. There we go. No. Oh, you know what? I muted it. Here we go. I know, you see, somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. Live life, breathe air. I know somehow we're gonna get there and feel so wonderful. It's all for real. I'm telling you just how I feel. So wake up the members of my nation. It's your time to be. There's no chance unless you take one. Every time to just see the brightest side of every situation. Some things are meant to be, so give your best and leave the rest to me. Leave it all to me. Just leave it all to me. Just leave it all to me. Welcome to night 2 of Trade Deadline tonight. I, of course, am Kuhan Luke. Joining me from the Commissioner's office, we'll go clockwise. We have Tom Riddler, Commissioner Dan. Below him on the right is RLM Jack S. And next to him, we have Whoa, It's a Factorial, a.k.a. Jeremy. And not from the Commissioner's office, we have one of our wonderful GMs who... How many years have you been doing GMing for us, Karamat?
This is my
Third year.
So 2018 is right.
Yeah, and we're always happy to have you. In fact, at least one of those years, you forced Jeremy to be the Blue Jays GM.
Yeah,
2019 then.
29.
Because I
Yeah,
actually joined
that happened.
halfway through the week, 2018 when I first started.
Gotcha. Great. We don't have 7 points because Alex is only in the chat and not on the stream today. But we did have a lot of moves today. Does anybody on the panel have anything specific that they want to talk about as we start here?
Can I just say, as he's here, and I don't know that he will return on future nights, I hope he does, but Fake Plastic Alex, I today traded as the Mariners.
True.
I wound up with an extra S, a U, and a B to become the Seattle Submariners. In your honor,
in
sir.
fact, I do want to say when we were like before we went live, when we were just setting up, Jack was the first one in the call, and he was like, I did the Submariners bit the 1 year Alex isn't here.
Yes. I wasn't sure I'd get the chance again, and so I wanted to do it. I hoped he would notice. I don't know, but yes, Alex, we are Submariners in your honor, sir. Despite your lack of presence, you are missed, and I hope you and your lovely wife are doing well.
Seconded.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I will listen, Alex. I'll send you a messenger link right now to rejoin the Slack. Just
Yeah.
let me know. I will never stop it. I'll send you that link every day, every week of every year if you want me to. Anyway, moving on.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Alex in the Navy?
Also, if you come up with any good Submariner jokes, please DM them to me.
Namor the Submariner?
I'm
Is there a user with a Namor in their name? Because that would be fun.
Ooh. Or an Aquaman?
Or an Aquaman, yeah, but Namor is the Submariner.
Oh, yeah.
I did search for sonar and sound, and there's not either.
Cool. We did have a couple of other name trades today. As we in the commissioner's office often are not. I think we even said yesterday we're not necessarily huge fans of letter trades. However, I am a big fan of the bit where the Phillies and Mets both spent their first 2 days trading letters with various teams to eventually become the Mets and Phillies.
I agree. That bit was great, especially because normally with the letter trades you can kind of see where they're going, but that one took
I had no idea where they were going. Like
surprise.
Hellsimp, the Mets were Hellsimp at one point, and like as soon as the Phillies were the Pies, and as soon as it all finished, I was like, yeah, it seems obvious in hindsight.
Thank you, Alex.
That is, if you told me two teams collaborated and traded their names to become each other, saying that combination would have been like 60th and 61st on the list.
Yeah, out of 30.
Well, and then Karamat on day one, you I don't know if you traded any letters, but I know you dumped at least one letter to become the Oreos.
I love that you just straight up DFA'd a letter.
Yeah, no, I traded my L to the Mets. I think that was one of their first letter trades. And at that point, I was the Oreos anyway.
Right.
But just with the silent I. But I didn't feel like trading another letter, so I figured I'd just get rid of that
What's
one.
funny is that you DFA'd the I in Oreos, and then the Mets picked that up anyway, so you could have just traded both of those letters to the Mets.
Yeah.
Well, also, why could you have not DFA'd a letter that I needed? But anyway.
Yeah, Alex does point out, well, the bit that he did in the hockey trade deadline game was he traded letters to other teams to make the Leafs end up being the Leafs. But it was 5 different LEAFS from other teams.
I like it.
Dan, you're not wrong. Hellsimp isn't a bad name for Phillies fans or Mets fans. It's probably better for Mets fans, to be honest.
It works. It works really well
Yeah.
for both. I'll tell you that.
Well, the Phillies are good a lot more often than the Mets are. Like the Mets are such law Mets, and they are simps for the hellish existence they live in, being Mets fans.
Sure, I was thinking about it more from I agree with you about the hellish existence of Mets fans. From a city perspective, I would argue that Philadelphia is closer to hell than New York.
Sure.
So when you think about it from a city perspective,
Noted Philadelphia hater, Tom Riddler.
fuck Philadelphia. The founding fathers thought Philadelphia was such a garbage state that they chose that a fucking uninhabited swamp over the city of Philadelphia for the nation's capital. That's all I'm going to say. They were like, this place is such garbage. Let's go to where there's not even a fucking...
I will say, occasionally, one of our friends, Jake, and I will like joke around about opening a food truck. And I was talking about how like you could make a lot of different burgers. You could like you only need the basic burger ingredients to make a lot of different types of burgers and have a large, varied burger menu out of like a burger food truck. And
I'm sorry. Otter has just thrown massive shade that we'll come back to. But
But one of the ideas that I had was making like a hand burger. You know, instead of grinding the meat in a grinder, you can grind the meat by hand by just chopping it, and make a hand burger to make like a Philly cheesesteak themed burger. And we were gonna call it the Dan Matthews. Because Dan famously hates cheesesteaks.
It's a good,
Yeah, it's a really good fit.
that's really funny.
Oh man. Moving on, we did have a user. Man, I saw it in the responses, but somebody collected a Google sheet, and if somebody can find it and send it to us, I will pull it up. Of the all of the different like collections that people are doing.
oh
Look
yes,
at
I want
that.
Oh,
Karamat had it
was-
ready to
thank
go.
you, Karamat. Karamat was surprisingly on the board there.
Now Baltimore Oriole 2 Helix 5U, who's also my vote for AL Player of the
Yeah,
Day.
he's killing it. Like that was like honestly, because I saw him doing that kind of thing, not specifically that, but that kind of thing all throughout the day, and I was like, I might want to make him a reporter, like cut through and just like add like because sometimes that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Like we have people who just establish themselves as really knowledgeable, like understanding the way the game works, having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, clearly a lot of work put into this. Let me set up a screen capture scene so I can show you guys this wonderful Google sheet.
Yeah. Also, if for whoever's updating this, I'm sorry, I know your name was said, but I
Two
missed
Helix
it.
5U. It's in the title too.
2 Helix 5U. Thank you. I hope, I'm not going to try and put this on you, but I hope that you continue to update this spreadsheet because I will continue to refer back to it. As when I was trying to find my letters, I was constantly DMing the GM saying, hey, do you still have the rights to your B or U or S or whatever?
I believe they intend to continue to update it. Obviously, you know, who knows if they're able to. Here we go. Do I have? Yes, I do. Cool. Yes. So here are all of the trades of things we have. Starting with the very first trade. I think this is wrong because this says Cincinnati received a cheesesteak. Oh no, mine came later. Got it. Mine was trade 3 and Cincinnati's was trade 2. That's what it was. So Cincinnati and St. Louis both received a cheesesteak on day 1. Cincinnati also received a DVD set of Rocky 1 to 4. Here we have, yeah. So Philly and St. Louis traded an order of toasted raviolis for 1 cheesesteak. You can move down. You can see New York Mets traded the letter L to Toronto alongside a moose for the Toronto Zoo and poutine. It's great. This is wonderful because, and also you can see on the H column here, there's categories. So like naming rights, geography-based trades, letters, zoos, which is a very specific thing happening. Bridges are a trade happening. Ports. This is really comprehensive and it's great. This kind of thing is the thing that I love most about the trade deadline game is people like getting so into it that they're putting this much kind of work into it.
Yes.
I can't believe Cleveland gave away Drew Carey.
Yeah, Cleveland traded away Drew Carey today. It was a big get.
Dan and Nime. It's a slightly less big get than it used to be, as Drew Carey has
He has lost a lot of weight. That's true. That's true. Yeah. However, he is now. When he was fat, he was the host of Whose Line Is It Anyway. Now that he's skinny, he's the host of The Price Is Right, which is a much bigger brand.
Long-standing joke with Craig Ferguson, though. When Fat Drew Carey was fat, that's where he stored all his jokes. Was in his fat.
Also, there was some controversy today because the San Francisco Giants traded half of Oakland.
Yes. That was incredible.
You can't trade
Which
off of Oakland if you're in San
Exactly.
Francisco.
which led to a very real debate over who has control of what area.
So, there had already been discussions about it the previous day. I know Cleveland was asking like if they have control of Indiana, and I was like, well, no, that's more Cincinnati and Chicago. Mostly the Cubs. There's no White Sox fans outside of the South Side. And basically, I was like, listen, if you hadn't asked, it's one of those things where like I said, I honestly care a lot less about the throw-in parts of the trades, so I didn't even really notice it until it happened. I did see it. I noticed the Oakland one because I was like, I feel like they shouldn't own that. And so in retribution, I allowed Oakland to trade as much of San Francisco as they traded of Oakland and gave them official rights to San Jose. So
yes, I also if it were me that had approved that trade. By the way, tomorrow I will be approving a lot of trades. So GMs, if you want to get up to some shenanigans tomorrow, I'm open to it. Had I been the one that would have approved that, I would have liked it just for the sheer ambition of we're going to trade Oakland and I dare you to stop us.
Khaleesi's throws are the most
You
fun
have
though.
a stadium that's 407 years old. Clearly, you aren't that up to date.
Yeah, sorry. So Khaleesi says throw-ins are the most fun. I don't mind you guys having fun with throw-ins. It's not a problem for me. I'm always happy to approve throw-in parts of trades, but I pay so little attention to the throw-in parts of trades because it doesn't matter to me, and like it's all a joke anyway. Like it's part of the joke, and you guys like joking around each other. Not a problem. Make jokes, totally fine. But like that's why those kinds of things will slip through the cracks of like 50% of San Francisco getting traded because nobody's like we're looking to make sure users aren't getting no trade clauses violated and that nobody's accidentally like trading somebody from a team that they already traded the player away from, which happened twice yesterday.
We're also doing that. We're also a little bit of inside baseball. We have stats on who approved a trade the fastest.
That's also true.
So we're all quietly trying to get
Today, Jeremy introduced that we get to see who got the trade approved, so that when we approve a
Oh my
trade
God,
and
it was
see
so
when we
amazing.
approve a trade and see already approved, I can see that Jeremy beat me to it.
Yeah, by like 3 milliseconds, and it's wonderful. I hate it and love it at the same time. It's why tomorrow my day is approving trades.
The only reason I did it was because I got tired of clicking the link and having it already be confirmed. So I was like, if it tells me that it's already
100%,
go
Jeremy.
for it.
The same thing. I was going to ask you to do it, then I was like, you know what? That's not that big a deal. It's whatever. And then you did it on your own. I'm like, oh, thanks. This is great. Now I can see me and Jeremy fighting to get trades approved with each other.
And then we had the one where we both were able to approve it because we hit
At the
it
exact same time. We hit approve at the exact same time, and both Jeremy and I approved the same trade. I'm like, how did that happen?
That's unbelievable. In 2 different time zones.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
That's
Well, we only recognize Mountain Time, obviously.
yeah.
My server is actually in Mountain Time, so that works out
Tremendous.
well.
So is Jack's watch, right?
Yes, it
Jack
is.
has set his watch to
Well,
Mountain Time.
Yeah, it's one of its time zones.
Karamat, you were about to say something.
I was going to say that your whole the problem with approving the trades and having those things slip through is that you're expecting us GMs to regulate ourselves, and that's just something that we're not capable
Oh,
of.
100%. No, 100%. No, like, it's... I honestly, like I said, I honestly care so little about those parts that it's like, it's fine. As long as people are having fun, like, it all feels like I also know Khaleesi's not really that mad about it, you know? Like, it's not that big a deal. So like, yeah, let's do it. I do want to we have 3 people who weren't on the stream yesterday, and we had potentially the biggest trade in the history of the trade deadline game yesterday, and that was, and in fact, there was a similar trade today with Detroit and New York, but that was obviously the door for that was opened by yesterday's trade, which is that to acquire Jimothy Riggins from the Royals, Philadelphia made a $150 donation, a real-life $150 donation to the Negro League Museum.
I'm
Yeah.
super here for that. I love it.
Yeah, how do you, what do you guys think about sort of donations becoming a part of this game? Today also the Tigers GM as part of a trade donated $50 to the Mets Foundation.
I love the idea of getting money involved in the game, so long as it always goes to charity or even if it's not like a registered charity, some positive cause.
Yeah.
I don't love the idea of it going GM to GM. I hate that
Right,
idea,
yeah, and
but
I don't think anybody really would want to do that. Like, food trades,
I
which
think
have
the limit
happened
of that
many
is
times,
buying
you know,
each other
like,
dinner.
buying someone dinner, I think, which we've done more than once. Like,
There's been a pizza.
That's fun.
There was a pizza involved.
There's
at
been
some
more
point.
than one pizza, for sure, yeah. There was
more than one
pizza this year, pizza
We've
2019.
traded actual gold bullion.
Yeah.
But
So I take kind of a slightly different stance on this because I think it's really great, and like thank you guys for allowing me to announce it. We're introducing Trade Deadline Coin tomorrow, where we can
Christ,
actually
Dan.
start trading players for digital currency. And we're going to introduce NFTs for all of
What's great is this is the first
players.
Jeremy's hearing of it, and he's gonna have to put all the work into
I
it.
was gonna say, this is the look of Jeremy secretly shitting himself.
So Jeremy,
because he'll have to figure this out
you
in
have-
8 hours.
you have 8 hours to get a new crypto running.
If you wake up tomorrow and there's one there, you're gonna shit yourself.
Honestly, Jeremy, I wouldn't put it past
I don't
you.
expect you to do this, but if I wake up in the morning and it does exist, I won't be surprised.
Right, yeah, you're right. Like, I so wouldn't put it past Jeremy as the kind of thing he would do. It's just,
For reference, dear listener, last year, when the XFL was a thing,
right, I forgot about that.
we proposed Jeremy approximately 36 hours before the debut game.
Oh yeah.
As a joke, we should have XFL Fantasy. 5 hours later, he had a working prototype. 8 hours later, it was just like the best XFL Fantasy, despite them trying to make it impossible to make that happen.
And it's such a shame that Alex went 0 and 999 in that league.
It really is.
Man, if only the XFL hadn't gone out of business, that would have been cool.
It was-
Right?
I mean, Dan, you were, if I remember correctly, you were at one of its last games.
I was
in
at
person.
I was at the last day of the XFL before COVID.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh,
There was a moment where Alex was in Chicago, where I live, with former friend of the program, Dr. Tyler Birch, still a friend of ours personally, but legally may not be allowed to be a friend of the program anymore.
Yes.
But we were making plans to like go and see, like not go and see a game, but like hang out at like at Alex's hotel room and just like smash claws and watch the XFL game. And then suddenly he had to go back to Colorado and COVID shut the world down. So
Yeah, Alex, by the way, in the chat is saying undefeated. Clap, 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 clap. Alex, I don't know what you're talking about. You went 0 and 9,999, despite only about 6 games taking place. I don't know how you managed it. You managed to lose 9,999 games without winning a single one.
yeah, without winning a
But
single one.
I do want to say that going back to the original question, I think it's great that charities are involved in this. Like, this is all for fun, and it's great that we can also
Yeah.
Yes.
support people raising money.
And
for
it's
good
something that
cause.
we were talking about yesterday, and Joe and I have had made that part of Speakeasy Pub Quiz, which we did for most of the last year up until the beginning of this month, which was our last quiz.
Yeah.
But we made charities as sort of a big part of that, and I'm pumped that it's sort of moving over here to the trade deadline game, and people are starting to work on it. And obviously, I don't think anybody's going to stop a trade because they didn't donate $20 to a charity. But it's a lot of fun. Actually, again, Dan, I assume you didn't watch the stream yesterday. But apparently it was a bidding war. Jimmy said, "Hey, somebody donate $5 for this," and then somebody else, the next team was like, "Well, I'll do 10, and I'll do 20," and then I got to 50, and then like it went from 5 to 150. And obviously, again, great cause, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. But like it's so cool. It's great. I love it. Blue Brody 7
Also,
asks,
to
"Why
answer
is Jack
question-
wearing a Loki cosplay?" First of all,
I was gonna
just
say,
how Jack
to
dresses.
Answer a question, to answer a question in the chat, Also, I love that Nime and Joe
Made the
both
same
answered
joke.
that question. Exactly
Yep.
the same. I am not. I am representing the Mariners while also being a professional commissioner.
Sure. Gotta go.
Is there
Put on
a
a blazer?
Are
You
you
kidding
wearing
me?
a tie as well?
I am not. I thought
Oh,
about
okay.
trying to tie a bow tie, but this
Yeah.
collar does
He
not.
did. He did wear a bow tie on night 0. So.
I
it
did.
looks like Jack. It looks like you just got drafted.
I literally was buttoning this shirt and thought, man, this really feels like a either drafted announcement or free agent announcement.
Yeah, Alex makes a good point. The Submariners, Jack.
You're right. You're right, Alex. I stand corrected. My apologies.
Jack,
Also, Alex, I don't know that I ever asked you this while you were in Slack, but what is your position on Submariners versus Submariners? Because it is something that really does annoy me, and I don't know what the, for lack of a better word, official.
We were just talking
term
about
is.
kilometers. So.
I know, and it really does annoy me. Yes, thank you, Alex. I am with you. It is the Submariners.
Well, no, that was earlier that he said that. I don't know what he's.
I know, but he put emphasis on it.
Yeah, but
so
that was when he was talking about your Mariner. You said your Mariners jersey, and he said no, the Submariners. So I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm due to technical reasons not able to watch the stream and be in the call at the same time.
You can see the
without
chat down
dropping
here
every other
on the
frame.
screen in the Skype chat. It should make me full screen.
No, that's what I mean. Is I can
Okay.
see that, but so it only updates every 20 seconds or so.
Oh, it should update
and I
live.
can only see the two latest
whatever.
messages.
Yeah. So Alex says people who say Submariners are fucking idiots.
Yes, I'm so glad that's the case.
Cool. That was donations. Do we have anything else on the docket? Not anything specific. Karamat, do you have anything specific you want to talk about? I know you wanted to be on stream. Do you have something?
Not
Different-
specific.
No.
interview with
Interview
the
with the GM. Yeah. How third year running? How you feeling about it? You obviously, I think the first year you did it would have been without the database. The last 2 times you would have done it would have been with. So.
Yeah, no, I'm happy this year. I did a little bit of pre-scouting for this. Some of the threads talking about the game, there were comments in there. That's really, as a GM, where I get a lot of my talent from. Did create a short list and got most of my guys on here. I know there's some headbutting with the Reds on a few of them, but for the most part, I was able to go out, get the people I wanted, get content creators, and prospects for the team. Really, I know.
I can't believe you actually made a list.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I-
Okay, a handwritten list is more impressive to me
That's
than a
true.
digital list.
And at the time of the stream, you are actually leading the league in pickups with a plus 17.
Ooh, look at
that's-
this.
difference.
I always say this is a volume game. Which is,
Yeah.
by the way, shocking to me that you have such a difference because why would you subjugate that many people to watch the Baltimore Orioles?
Including me, by the way, which I completely missed. I approved a trade, including me, without noticing it somehow.
Yeah.
And that was
Um,
for me, too, which is kind of
Yeah,
fun.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. It was for your not even. I'm sorry, not even for you, for your
Yep.
alt.
Correct.
I barely
Which
missed
is
out.
still worth it.
By the way,
I feel
Alex is
like-
heading out, so goodbye, Alex. We hope to see you again
Bye,
many
Alex.
times in the future. We love you. We miss you.
Come back
Yes.
to Slack.
Alex, I miss you very, very dearly, and I hope you're having a good time. That is meant 100% seriously. I've made a lot of jokes in this
Yeah,
stream,
of course.
but
No, we
I
all
miss you.
miss Alex. So, Karamat, take us through a little bit of your strategy.
Strategy, really, as the Orioles were a rebuilding team. So a goal of ours is to get a lot of prospects. I barely missed out on the most people gained last year. And while not intentionally going for it this year, it's kind of happened that way. I was kind of peeved at the Red Sox trade. The amount of players they got in that one trade really put a hamper on my plan.
That
But,
was
they'll
that was
go out.
the number one for a while, I think Red Sox or Yankees, whichever one got more in that trade, were the biggest winner for a while. At least even earlier today, I think they were, until you made a couple more trades today.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. My only issue, though, as a small market team, it's just hard to compete with some of these larger subs. I'm only down to like 4 or 5 more people I can trade, and there's only a finite number of more people I can get.
Well, I mean, you can always flip people. You could always flip Jack for more.
You could, and like
I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying you could.
I am fully prepared to be an Orioles fan, but I am also willing to be traded for other people if you wish for more players.
That's a generous offer on your part, but you are on the list, so I don't think anybody that made it to my list is going to be.
I'm so proud that I'm on the list.
Yeah.
Just think about it, Jack.
Also,
You get to watch.
as a Mariners fan, I feel I'm ready to be an Orioles fan.
Yeah, I felt that too. I know Cespedes Family Barbecue, they're Orioles Mariners, so I think that's already a combo there. And you said, I mean, you're kind of a new Mariners fan. I felt, let you experience another team. Maybe you'll fall in love.
Yeah,
with
listen,
it, too.
Jack clearly loves bad teams, so.
I haven't mentioned
It's an easy
this.
transition.
I haven't mentioned this in relation to the trade deadline game, but if Felix Hernandez had made your roster this year, I would have flown to Seattle in May to watch those games in person. I was ready.
That would have been electric. Yeah,
money that I didn't really have, but wanted to see those games before there was no chance of it. So.
Yeah, so that's I mean, clearly you have a strategy, you're executing it, you're doing a great job. One of as we've said before, one of the more trusted GMs. You've been around for a while.
Yeah.
It's funny. I know which GMs can like manipulate me into doing things because they stay under the radar, but always are there and doing like solid trades. So, like you, Admiral Jones, are like among the GMs who I know are like, yeah, like you're gonna make good trades in general, and you're not gonna like do a lot of stupid stuff. So like, or like something like really really silly. Not that like people like Otter and Khaleesi, who are also great, are a lot more prone to do really silly stuff. And that which then might be like, all right, well I gotta like we might need to play damage control on this. So
yeah, like I see a trade as a commissioner from Karamat, and I go, yeah, I can probably just
right,
approve
exactly.
this. Like he wouldn't have agreed to anything dumb.
The other people, maybe. I would.
I mean, you usually wouldn't.
Usually,
Everyone makes mistakes. Khaleesi, don't tell me you don't do really silly stuff. You do it. You like doing silly stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
See your mega.
I'm just saying. All right, we are going to break massive news now. We have a big trade that's been sitting in the pike. We were waiting to announce it on the stream. We did close trading earlier tonight, and then Dan approved 2 trades.
I was building a desk. I was on my phone. I was like,
I'm gonna help. We're like, Dan, you're not helping.
He says making it worse.
Also, this trade that Young Joe, same thing. Young Joe like got off work and was like, "I'm gonna help. I'm gonna approve some trades." Like, no, Joe, not that one.
Young Joe, who had approved previously,
one
trade. His second trade is the single trade that we're like, no, don't approve.
Whatever. It happens. Young Joe was the Dan of the first 2 days. Dan was also the Dan of the first 2 days. But
yeah. Dan had a good reason.
Dan had a good reason. Dan
moving.
always has a perfectly fine reason.
he scheduled something this week
every year.
Fucking year.
Every year. You know when the trade deadline comes up because it's always going to be the All-Star break. You know every year, and every year you schedule something.
I got to tell you, as soon as I booked the movers and then I looked at the date, I was like, no way.
Truly incredible.
Nime. Next year, can you please remind me, as soon as the calendar is announced, to request the All-Star break at least like 3 days off?
Sure, I will try to remember to remind you.
Thank you.
By the way, Khaleesi and Otter, you guys both make great trades. I'm not saying we don't trust you to make good trades. I'm just saying sometimes you make the sillier trades. You don't
Yes.
screw up trades.
You make. I'll
Eventually.
put it this way. This is me speaking personally, not the office of the commissioner. You make great trades. Karamat makes great trades that don't include ridiculous, silly additional stuff.
Like sometimes they do, but I feel like it's usually the other GM who's like, "Hey, I want this ridiculous thing," and you're like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, like Karamat will be like, "No, let's not go too crazy." Otter's
Padres-
like, "Sure, I'll take it."
Padres trying to manifest their destiny. I had a long negotiation with them. That's still ongoing. Where I had to bring them down from the entire city of Baltimore, and then instead of that, they wanted the whole state. I talked them down to 2 counties.
Wow, that's a big
I
change.
was
That's
willing
that's
to offer them the majority of the South Pacific.
Do you have? Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, you're Mariners, so you have
Yeah.
oceans like this.
On the Mariners, we get like Oregon, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. Like we get most of Western Canada, Alaska. We get a lot.
I gave you Delaware too.
You did. Thank you, by the way, for the tax break.
No problem.
Going back to the big trade we're just about to announce, I am hitting the commish confirm button right now, and it is going to go through. There it goes, and it is a Blue Jays Rockies trade, which is, I probably should have had a way to just keep looking at it. Hold on, let me pull it back up.
Yeah,
128.
or maybe a graphic prepared.
I have
Anyway.
kind of a graph prepared. So the Blue Jays receive a C from the Rockies. The Rockies receive an O from the Jays to complete their rebrand to the Colorado Rookies, which makes pretty solid sense. As well as 12 Panther going to the Rockies, JSA 17 going to the Blue Jays, and also the Blue Jays are receiving the rights to the trade deadline game itself, which means we now have to move once again. We started in Atlanta, technically. We moved from Atlanta to Colorado.
Denver.
So now we are in Toronto, right? Wait, no, sorry, Dunedin?
No, we're-
Buffalo!
Buffalo.
We're-
Hold on. Now I have to change the graphic to say, yes, welcome to TDG Buffalo. And that is indeed the flag of Buffalo, New York behind us, if you can't tell. Presented, of course, by Old Line Woodworking.
Wait, does that mean I have to move again too? I can't do it. I've been setting up the commissioner's office for 2 days, you guys.
Wait, Dan, I thought you were moving to Buffalo. That was the whole thing. We were like, yes, you can take the day off if you're moving the whole thing to Buffalo.
I thought we were moving to Colorado. All right, I got the truck, I guess. At least it'll be colder in Buffalo than it was here.
That's true.
Yeah, can you
Hopefully.
please trade me just like some of that cold?
Well, I can't. I'm a commissioner, but I'm sure.
That's
Buffalo
true. Yeah,
can
we
trade you some
didn't
gold
make the
if you want.
mistake of giving Dan a team this year.
Hey, Killer Queen, please trade me some cold. I'll gladly take it. I don't care what it's for.
We do have a new logo, but I didn't pull that up. But Jeremy gave us a beautiful. Let me see if I can pull it up on.
It's a magnificent logo. It deserves to be full
Yeah.
screen. He says, putting 9 on the spot.
I'll do it
again.
But somebody else has to talk while I do this.
All right, I'll continue to talk. Despite having nothing to say, I'll continue to talk. Some of the best teams today include Texas for trading for the Arlington National Cemetery, despite being approximately 1,200 to 1,500 miles away from the actual Arlington National Cemetery. I'm continuing to try to fluff. Despite
We got it.
not
We've got it. It's here.
getting the
It's here.
updated
We have the logo. It is. Here we go. It's the 2021 Our Baseball Trade Deadline game, brought to you by the great city of Buffalo, New York. Are there other time zones? No.
No, we still respect Mountain
Mountain time is the only time recognized
Dan,
by the
please
official.
answer this question. Or propose this question.
The question is, are we
No,
changing
we're not.
time-
Of course, we're not changing time
slots?
zones. Who would change time zones?
Of course we're not. There is one time zone. It is the mountain time. I don't know what you're talking about in relation to other time zones. They're all terrible. Mountain time is the only time. And I refuse to recognize any other.
Khaleesi says they're not trade with Kuan for rights to animal mascots. No, nobody else could just make it the mascot, but Colorado had the rights to the location of the trade deadline game because we were in Colorado, and now we're being traded to Buffalo. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I just got my desk set up too.
Once again, trade deadline
Yeah.
tonight, 2021, brought to you by Old Line Woodworking. Old Line Woodworking for all your woodworking needs. OldLineWoodworking.com. You can find them also. Old Line Woodworking on YouTube and Etsy.
Dan,
And Instagram.
do you have any comments on the quality of Old Line Woodworking?
Well, I
How's
got to
their
tell
work?
you, if you give me 30 seconds, I can go
Get
do
it.
like
Go get
a
it. Go get it.
QVC
It's
kind
fine.
of thing with them.
I'm sure that I can. I'm absolutely certain that I can fill for 30 seconds. How hard can it possibly be to fill 30 seconds of blank space?
Just want to
No,
throw
no,
in a
no.
quick update here, Jack.
Yes, please, Jeremy.
For anyone who visits the website tdgdb.com, you will find yourself the new Buffalo logo. We have updated.
Oh, I want desperately to
you're
find
good to
this
go.
new website.
That again is tdgdb.com.
Does that stand for Trade Deadline Game Database.com?
It does.
Oh, that's a wonderful coincidence. He says, trying desperately to fill time.
Oh, do you want me
while
to pull it up? Is that what
Chrome
you're saying?
wants him to search. While Chrome wants him to search Reddit for tdgdb.com, which is a wonderful website that every single person visiting this or watching this stream should visit. And in fact, they should also
That's correct. Yes.
Old Line Woodworking, and I just got to tell you, boy, do they have some really fine stuff. Like, take for example this beautiful end grain cutting board.
that is a beautiful cutting board.
Just listen to this. Listen
I-
to that
You
sound.
know, I really wish that you could find a video of that particular cutting board being made. Does anyone know where we could find
I
such a
believe
film?
you can find it on
Well, I'll tell you,
YouTube.com. Just search.
You can find on
In-
look at this.
YouTube.
Pure
What channel? There's so many.
Well, I think if you head
different
to
channels.
Old Line Woodworking on YouTube, I think you just have to search it. Does Old Line Woodworking have a vanity URL yet?
It does not have a vanity URL. We need 83 more subscribers. So be the
I'm
change
sure that
I
should
want to
be
see in the
doable.
world.
Oh, we can get you down to 72 right now. So
Yes.
Let me fix that audio hiccup. Like this. There we go.
An excellent job, dear Nime.
Hold on. It's not fixed yet, and now it is fixed. There we go. Problem solved.
I love your audio setup. However, sometimes it does have its minor inconveniences,
Jack, are you drunk?
such as when we are trying to plug
OldLineWoodworking.com.
OnlineWoodworking.com.
Dan, let's
So,
do that cutting
I-
board one more time.
So I do have two questions about this cutting board. Well, one's more of a statement, the other's a question. The first statement is Kaylee and I actually love it so much that we're not actually going to be using it as a cutting board because it's too beautiful. We're going to use it as a cheese charcuterie board when people come over, and I'm very excited for that. Secondly, it is an end grain cutting board, and Jeremy, as much as I like to pretend like I know what that means, I don't know what it means. So, would you describe to us just a little bit more about this cutting board from a builder perspective?
Sure. So if you take a piece of wood,
Uh-huh.
you have face grain, which is what you see usually. You have edge grain, which are on the sides, and then you have end grain, which is at the end. Go figure. The advantage to end grain cutting boards is the fibers of the wood are like the bristles of a brush. So when you put your knife into it, they separate a little bit, and they let your knife come in, not dulling it.
Ooh, okay. Look
So
at that.
as a non-woodworking person, I understand this to mean edge grain and face grain are similar to if you were to cut down a tree and imagine the vertical part. End grain is if you were to cut down a tree and imagine the part that's left over on the stump. Is this correct?
That is correct.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm glad to hear that I understood this correctly, and I now understand the concept of end grain much better.
Final plug I will say about this cutting board is also has these really cool like handles at the bottom that you can
I
use.
fucking love those handles. Like, this isn't a plug. I love
Jack
those
just
handles.
Jack stops. Like, yo, that's dope though. Like he completely
Like,
dropped character.
This isn't a plug. I love those handles so much. It is
It's
the
like
best
so
design
sharp.
of handles I've seen.
Khaleesi asks a great question if Jeremy will do custom charcuterie boards. And in fact, yes, if you just go to oldlinewoodworking.com, custom requests are available.
It's Old Line Woodwork.
Old Line Woodwork. Sorry,
working.
not working. Sorry, Woodwork. You can
Someone already had
see the
woodworking,
logo right here.
unfortunately.
Old Line Woodwork.
Oh damn it, Jeremy! I was literally typing in GoDaddy.com to try to buy Old Line Woodworking.
Great, tremendous. Very happy
God,
with
I
our
love this
sponsor.
game.
I'm glad,
So
I'm glad we got
much.
to plug. I'm glad we get to plug our sponsor. By the way, thank you to our sponsor.
Tremendous sponsor.
Very generous sponsor.
Very generous
To our
sponsor.
sponsor,
oldlinewoodwork.com.
Old Line Woodworking.
Should we just go from the top? Should we do it again?
Sure, why
So
not?
let's do that from the top. So oldlinewoodwork.com is our sponsor.
Also, Naim, to answer the question that I believe you were asking, but I didn't hear the end of, am I drunk? Yes, is the answer.
How's your tin cup treating you?
It is wonderful and perhaps slightly too alcoholic, but very smooth. Although not as smooth as the work of Old Line Woodworking.
Woodwork. Wait, do you have oldlinewoodwork.com? Because that's giving me a... Oh, no, hold on. Sorry.
Oh my god.
So okay, so then here's the next question, and I think the only
Jeremy,
person who
tell
can
me it's
answer this is
unsafe.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Is who? So first question: would you say that Old Line Woodwork is available to be traded in the trade deadline game, and if so, by who?
By whom, sir? By whom?
By whom?
I
Thanks.
think that it is definitely tradable. Being that it is part of the Old Line state, I believe that our guest for the evening would have rights to it.
I will write that down.
So, Karamat, what would it cost you to wind up with some coasters from Old Line Woodworking?
We'll see. Make me an offer and
I shall do
Back
so in the morning, as I am desperately in need of coasters.
And hey,
Although,
listen,
frankly,
if you don't want to
I got
purchase...
everyone listening. So
If you don't want to purchase them, Jeremy is so kind as to... Oh, sorry, Old Line Woodwork is so kind as to even teach you how to do it yourself if you want to do that.
With a YouTube channel.
You got the YouTube channel right here, Old Line Woodwork. Only 2 videos so far, but, more coming down the pike. Great quality videos.
Also, This
video is in
stream is
progress.
This stream is starting to feel more like an infomercial than being sponsored by Old Line.
Oldlinewoodwork.com.
I'm about to go to my kitchen and show you all how to put a nice charcuterie board together. With Old Line Woodwork as the centerpiece.
This is no longer a bit. I'm genuinely crying with laughter.
All right, moving on.
So what I like to do is I like to actually fold my salami so that like when you roll it up, it creates nice little rows right on the plate, which is right on the end grain cutting board, which is just so beautiful. Your friends come over.
Moving on, we have RBBWAA awards. Not a lot of
Yes, thank you.
responses today. Only 4, in fact.
Not a lot of responses. Definitely not owing to it being posted late.
Also, somehow somebody posted on July 13th, 1998. So that's cool.
I very nearly posted my birthday in there.
And when I say somebody, I mean Karamat. But yes, we have so AL Player of the Day, and I'm gonna pick one because it's a tie between two people, and so I'm gonna break the tie because I didn't vote, and I'm gonna give that to 2Helix5U, who, as we said earlier in the stream, made that wonderful trade sheet going down the sheet. It's dope.
Yeah.
NL Player of the Day is tough because I didn't pay enough attention to anybody. I saw, there was a nomination for Scrax from Low Res LOL. Scrax at one point in the day said, I can't figure out how to register. And so I went ahead and made a very handy Imager album that gives you the very easy step-by-step, which is click sign up and then allow it to view your Reddit profile. And that's it. Jeremy, do you think you could have possibly made it any more idiot-proof?
Perhaps
No.
if I randomized the order.
I truly don't know how it could because not to throw just Scrax under the bus. There's been other people today who are like, how do I sign up? It's like, click on the link and click sign up. I don't understand. Like, it's not that hard. I don't know. GM of the day. We have again. Everybody has their own nomination. I'm going to go ahead and ask each of you, who do you think is your GM of the day today?
My GM of the day is the Astros GM. It's a job nobody in their right mind wanted, but he stepped up, and he's doing a great job so far.
I stayed in Texas with the Rangers GM. I know they got the Arlington National Cemetery. They also completed their 2-day goal of finally acquiring more skyscrapers in New York City.
Yes, they do. They have more skyscrapers in New York City now down in Arlington, Texas.
Yes.
That was wonderful. I love that was their goal and what they achieved. However, I tend to agree with Jeremy in that I support the other Texas team of winding up the Astros, which this year, perhaps unsurprisingly, but perhaps on a bit of a surprise, is the hardest to navigate the no trade clauses.
Yeah. So the Astros have the most no trade clauses with, I want to say, like 153 last I saw.
It is currently at 148.
Okay, so maybe it was 143 last I saw. So yeah, 148 for the Astros. Also 136 for the Yankees and 109 for the Cubs. And then it drops all the way down to a very nice 69 for the Dodgers. So Astros, Yankees, and Cubs are the most hated teams. I honestly did not expect the Astros to overtake the Yankees this year. Yankees always have the number one for no trade clauses. I thought the Astros would have a lot. I did not expect them to overtake the Yankees this year. So that's I'm not shocked by it, but it's a little bit of a surprise.
I expected them to take the lead, but nowhere near by this margin. I expected them to be like 2 or 3 at the lead.
A fun fact about the no trade clause is nobody hates the Reds.
Yes. So there were multiple teams that had a single no trade clause on day one of trading. As we moved forward, Jack, I believe, was about to mention there's one Mariners no trade clause, and there's one Tigers no trade clause, and 2 each for the Royals and the Rockies. And I think those are just because those teams are bad, and they don't want to be on a bad team.
I take issue with us being on the same breath as the Tigers. Like, Alex, I know, has already left.
You guys have a record.
But, like, we have a winning record.
Sure.
We are regularly 2nd and or 3rd in our division.
The song is real, Jack.
And our division also contains the A's and the Angels. The Angels who have Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout.
But the Angels have the 2 most electric players in baseball. Like, 2 of the best players in baseball, and yet still they can't do anything. So... Jack,
we also have the Astros.
That is true. Jack, you did say you got a message back from the one person, the Mariners Mariners no trade clause earlier today, and you didn't expand on that. What's up with that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I truly meant to expand on that.
I think we just somebody probably talked over you.
I may or may not have expanded upon that whilst in a bathroom break from work. But basically the person responded to me. I won't name them primarily because I can't remember their name. Saying to the effect of Mariners fans are possibly the most most self-deprecating fans of any of the fans, because we are cursed. And I say this knowing that I am only contributing to the stereotype, but we are cursed. Since 2001, we win the most tied, Cubs, with the most wins in Major League Baseball, and still don't make the World Series. We managed to, since then, not make the playoffs. And do I have any faith that we make the playoffs this year or within the next 3 to 4 years? No. Do I hope we do? Yes. Do I believe we do? I wouldn't put money on it. They proceeded to give reasons why Yankees fans are negative despite historical evidence to the opposite. Astros fans negative despite winning recently. They gave quite a few reasons why we are frankly the least positive subreddit to join. And yet I think we are still one of the most positive, because we take a team that hasn't had a playoff season since 2001, and we still every single year think this year's ours. We're finally gonna make it, and we don't. But damn it, do we try?
It's it's Mariners and Mets have that sort of same kind of vibe where yes, the teams lose a lot, but if you're a Mariners fan or if you're a Mets fan, you are loyal, maybe to a fault, and the Mets have been to a World Series recently, but it's a regular known fact, right? Mets gonna Met, lol Mets, right? Everybody knows this. This is and. Whenever you come across a Mets fan, that person is a diehard Mets fan. It's very rare, when they get to the World Series, obviously everyone's going to have their bandwagoners, but nobody's a bandwagon Mets fan in most years.
I will say, as a Mariners fan, if the Mets make the World Series and their opponent is not the Mariners, I will probably 100% be behind the Mets.
Why?
Because they're a similarly cursed team.
You could just say bad.
I don't see the Mets that way. They were in the World Series in 2015.
Yeah, they didn't win it.
Let me rephrase.
Yeah,
not necessarily cursed, but a similarly a team that historically has had great success followed very, very quickly by great failure.
That is okay. Yeah, that's an accurate description of the Mets. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
A team that regular season has done so well, as soon as they make the postseason, falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be with the Athletics on this, except they're in our division. So too bad, Oakland. You lose.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm also giving GM of the day to Reno, the Astros GM.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
It was a long walk.
I included him in my voting, but in hindsight, yes, I agree.
He did. He also came in today. We had 5 GMs who came in on the second day of trading. A lot of them did register yesterday, but I had made a mistake and left the 2019 sign up form in the GM sign up, so they all signed up for the 2019 form. And I didn't realize that until our wonderful Rockies GM pointed out, like, hey, it says 2019 at the top of this. I'm like, ooh, let's go back to that then. So he did, though, get the an Astros GM today, and immediately, as I said, fast and furious, started making trades with like maybe 30 to 45 minutes after he got GM permissions. He had the team called the Hot Town Sastros. Like it was quick.
It was very impressive.
Like
how
he made
rapidly
if we go back through the trade confirmations, at the moment that he became Astros GM, he made like 6 trades in a row.
Yes.
Six of
Very
7 trades in a
impressive.
row. Trade 133, 134, 135. 137, 138. Sorry, 135 is there twice because I think that's the one that Jeremy and I both confirmed at the exact same time.
Yeah, I mean, Naim, it's really clear that like you mentioned like he just came in fast and furious. Like you might as well call him Dom because he cares
Family.
about family. Fast and Furious
In theaters
9
now.
in theaters
Yeah,
now. Back to you, Naim.
Paramount, please sponsor us. No, sorry, Universal. Universal, please sponsor us. Also, for what it's worth, it is called
I
F9:
also
the Fast Saga.
low-key- I also low-key love the mentioning of trade numbers, despite the fact that the only people who ever see trade numbers are GMs and commissioners, and possibly reporters.
Yeah, I think reporters see him too, but like,
That is-
if we obviously, it's really more internal than it is external. And it's also, no, sorry, Jeremy, you were about to say, because we did add it for people.
Yes, that is incorrect now. So if you were to look yourself up on the website, or it tells you what trade you were actually traded in, you can click that and see the full trade right there on the website. That way you can find out
Which was,
who else
yeah, that was one of the things that I...
It now
Well,
includes
once
such
again,
things.
the wonders of Jeremy being able to just do things like that, because I was like, hey, it might be nice to be able to see what trade someone's trading. And it's like, yeah, I can do that. And like 10 minutes later, it was up. It's great. It's fantastic.
I must mention, for the benefit of Jeremy to the public, I suggested for a very, very, very niche and not at all important feature request that tab completion be a thing, which is something that only other GMs
And he
would
had it in
notice.
it felt like seconds.
I was gonna say within 10 minutes easily.
I believe the timestamp.
Yeah, I was like, I feel it was like
Yeah,
30
like,
seconds it
he
took you to
had
do it.
as a thing before I even thought he would jokingly say no.
Khaleesi says, can we get an official ruling that Cleveland got trade number 1? Technically, it's trade number 2 because another trade was submitted before, but the Cleveland trade was approved first, which is the best that I could do because that was part of the trade. She was like, can you please make this trade number 1? I was like, I can approve it before I approve trade number 1. Yes. So... and in fact, if you go in the trade confirmations for those who are have access to the Discord, those were the 2 trades that are deleted role trades, and have Washington Capitals and Phoenix or Arizona Coyotes, Nashville Predators, and Pittsburgh Penguins Flares, because we did not have the Flares set up yet. And Jeremy's like,
I love
was like,
that
"Set up Flares."
so
I'm like, "Yep,
much.
I'll do it."
That was the thing.
So yes, Otter technically got trade number 1. It's officially the number 1 trade, but it was not the first approved trade. That was Cleveland St. Louis. Last
Wait, I would say that goes then to
Otter
though.
had trade number, like it's the first trade that was submitted, but not the first trade that was approved. So the first trade in the thread is Cleveland. The first trade in the database is Philadelphia.
Oh. Well, I would go by database.
No, thread is official.
times
As it says on the post, nothing is official unless it's in the thread. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Okay, all right.
Um,
Okay, that's fair.
Also, the vast majority of people involved in the trade deadline game only ever see
what I'll
what's in
say
the thread.
what I'll say is you guys can have like sort of a Bulbasaur ride-on situation where Rhydon was the first Pokemon created, but Bulbasaur is the first in the Pokedex.
Oh, wait, Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever created? I had no idea.
There are 5 Pokemon that have a claim to being the first Pokemon. Bulbasaur is number 1 in the Pokedex. Rhydon was the first created. Arceus is technically because of time travel, and then I think Pokemon. Mew is the Pokemon that all Pokemons are based on. Whatever. So if you guys want to fight over that, but Bulbasaur is first in the Pokedex, and I would call the Cleveland Kleebot for Bravo Delta bot trade 1 in the Pokedex. So that is, I would call trade number 1 officially.
I will also say I was at work when the trade deadline game opened, and the only trade that I mentioned to coworkers was, this may not be a direct quote, but something along the lines of, "Oh, Cleveland and St. Louis have traded their bots." That sounds about right for the first trade.
Yeah, so Khaleesi was trying to make a big giant trade for trade number 1, and I was like, I'm not going to make that trade number 1. And then she's like, well, how about bot for bot? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. So
it just felt about right.
Yep.
This is not part of the agenda, but I just had something that I wanted to bring up about trade deadline and stuff like that. I can bring it up later. Do we have other things that we need to talk about trade deadline game? This is very trade deadline game related.
Let me real quick do trade of the day and the commissioner of the day, and then Dan will
let's keep doing that.
God, I forgot we were doing superlatives.
It's great. It's fine. Listen, this is why there's somebody sober running the stream, and then everybody else. It's actually.
And then we're basically
it's really funny. I always think about when I do trivia for Geeks Who Drink on Wednesday nights, which I'm gonna have to get a sub for tomorrow because I have to do this. But whenever I do Geeks Who Drink trivia, I'm always like, well, maybe I'll get baked before quiz, and then I'm like, well, I don't have a good track of time when I'm baked, and I need to be able to track time better when I'm running quiz. So, and there's a producer, and he could probably help me if I really asked him to, but I'm like, you know what? I can just not do it on Wednesday nights. It's fine. Trade of the day. We have 2 nominations for the same trade, so this is an official trade of the day, and I believe everybody will agree on this. It is Arlington National Cemetery being traded by Texas. Texas made the trade of Arlington National Cemetery.
I guess I technically have one. So,
wrong Arlington, you guys.
I'm sure Arlington in Texas has a national cemetery. I have no doubt about that.
But it's not Arlington National Cemetery.
Oh yeah, sure. It would be it'd be like the Texas Rangers trading.
There is a Dallas Fort Worth National Cemetery. But I don't think there's an Arlington Cemetery, and there's a National Cemetery in Dallas, but there's not an Arlington National Cemetery in Texas.
Okay, so it sounds like they traded both the Arlington cemeteries and the national cemeteries and just forgot a comma.
Sure, let's say that. Yeah.
He says, technically in packing up his stuff to move to Buffalo right now, but also having some experience around Arlington, the Arlington National Cemetery.
You lived in Arlington yesterday.
I lived in Arlington yesterday. Yeah, well, not yesterday because I moved to Colorado yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, you lived in Arlington.
Yesterday morning, I lived in Arlington. Yesterday evening, I was in Colorado. Today,
and then now you're going to be in Buffalo.
I'm in Colorado. Tomorrow I'll be in Buffalo. Yeah.
Yep. So good luck. Good luck on that move. And then finally, Commissioner of the Day, unsurprisingly, is Deadline Commish.
Why do we put Deadline Commish on the list?
You know what? Listen.
I'm low-key surprised that it wasn't Commissioner Dan.
Commissioner Dan did get a vote.
Funny that you say Loki surprised, Mr. Loki cosplayer.
Hey, Loki episode season finale, right? Is tonight in 2 hours?
Yes, it is.
I don't know, as I could almost certainly not be watching
Disney
Ted Lasso tomorrow.
Is Ted Lasso coming out tomorrow?
No. Ted Lasso is in 10 days.
It's not coming out tomorrow, but I haven't watched season 1.
Oh, what?
Well, you better get on that.
I'm surprised.
haven't.
I'm surprised
I
Jack
have
didn't say
been
series one
trying
just now because it is a
all
British
day
show,
to
kind
get
of.
Jimmy's attention to trade me somebody.
You want me to text him? I can text him.
Please do. To trade me for having to watch Ted Lasso season 1, because I've been meaning to do that for about a year and I haven't done so yet.
And then there was also one vote from Karamat for Professor What. Karamat, why'd you go with Professor What today? Just asking.
He's on my team. I think if he gets Commissioner of the Day, that ups his stream value. Better for me.
Isn't Jack also on your team?
Yeah, but he's on the
yes.
list.
I'm not trading
He
him.
can't move.
Is Jack not on the list? Oh, Jack. Yeah, Jack can't be traded. Right. My mistake.
Oh, God damn it. Why
Right.
can't I be traded?
Jack, you get to watch the home run derby runner-up Trey Mancini.
By the way, my
For a week.
very favorite tweet of last night, which was
Jeremy, no, I don't, because I only have the money to subscribe as an audio listener. So I have the rights to listen to trade or to home run derby.
Jack. You know,
I'm
if you
not
go in
telling you
Slack
I'm gonna
right
give
now
you
and
my-
say, if you go in Slack right now and say, hey, can someone give you an MLB TV login? You will get 3.
I'm not saying I'm going to give you my login, but, you know.
I'm just saying, like Nick will give it to you in a heartbeat.
Yes, he will.
I have Nick's NHL TV login. Like,
That's wonderful.
but I was gonna say my very favorite tweet of last night. I'm still laughing at it, which is it's Pete Alonso time, says Pete Alonso while watching an all-time inspirational story for cancer survivors everywhere play out before his eyes.
Is that actually true?
He didn't actually say it, but like. Trey Mancini recovered from colon cancer. Like, he could have died a year ago. He came back from colon cancer, finished second, got to the finals of the home run derby, and then Pete Alonso showed up and just wrecked him. And it is
Hey,
so funny to
Hey,
me.
I say this as a Mariners fan. Shohei Ohtani could have recovered from being a pitcher.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, do we need to redo the first round of the home run derby because Shohei Ohtani lost to Juan Soto? I truly believe it was a fluke, and I can't finish.
By the way,
I
you know, if Ohtani loses again, I'll accept it. But
again, bit of inside baseball. 3 years ago, I was not decided on what team I was going to support. I wound up a Mariners fan due to friendship and other reasons. And damn it, do I wish Ohtani was in a different division/league than the Mariners.
Honestly, man,
because,
like,
oh my God, if he was in the National League, I would be an Ohtani fan.
he's one of those
the
dudes
end.
that I feel like you can't not root for. Like, I love Joey Votto. He's in my division, you know. Well, I mean, not in this division, but my regular the NL Central, like, he's great. Andrew McCutchen, who's not in this NL Central anymore, but when he was, like, you can't really not root for those guys. Anthony Rizzo, however, I can very much not root for.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Also,
but,
Chris Bryant,
like,
very much can not root for. But yeah, like, there's plenty of guys out there who I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't care that you're in the division. Like, I just like watching this dude play baseball. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Shohei Ohtani.
It's like-
He's Shohei Ohtani, man. Like, it's great. It's
Like,
the best.
I want Ohtani to do so well and the rest of the Angels to do so badly.
Well, good news, because that's exactly what's happening.
So, by the way,
I
yes,
know.
Slightly Awkward does also point out another, I think this is also a tweet. Pete Alonso, a fiend, bro. He just watched a kid tear his ACL on the field and is beating a cancer survivor, and all he can do is bop his head and vibe. So good. Dude, I love Pete Alonso. He's so great.
Hey, Nime, by the way, just bit of admin. I'm no longer seeing your feed.
Is everybody else seeing my feed? Is it just a Jack problem?
I can see it.
Honestly,
Sounds like it might be a
No.
problem with your internet, Jack.
No idea why I'm not seeing it then.
They had a problem with Joe had the same problem yesterday at one point, so I think it might be your
Cool.
internet.
I'll
Because
just
you
deal
also
with it.
your feed has also been going like 240p at times. By the way,
sounds about
also a
right.
bit of housekeeping. I found a guitar pick.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good housekeeping.
Yeah.
So,
hey, look, it's orange. I called it.
It is orange. I
Well-
like the orange picks. I like the orange picks. There's nothing wrong with that. These are the picks I prefer. But I do have yellow picks. I also have the green
Nine.
ones.
more guitar pick related housekeeping. Upstairs, I have a Bowling for Soup yellow guitar pick.
Nice. I have my Motion City. Oh, you know what? There's another guitar pick. How did I not find this when I needed to play the guitar? I have some Motion City soundtrack limited edition guitar picks, and in fact, I didn't do this on purpose, but I wore a band tee yesterday, and I'm wearing a band tee today. So I'm probably gonna end up wearing a band tee tomorrow, just because now that's my bit.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, you had a thing you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so this is a very weird thing, very niche. But I just reminded me that this is the first time that we've been on stream since this happened to me. But at my previous place before I moved to Colorado, in Arlington, I was down at a bar, and this was, I think, probably right before. It was probably like February 2020 or something like that. And I was talking to my buddy, and I was saying, yeah, like we do this weird baseball thing, fake baseball every year. And some drunk guy, this is probably like midnight or something like that. Some drunk guy, like a couple seats down from us at the bar, turns to us and says, "Yo, are you a moderator of the Reddit baseball subreddit?" And I'm like, "No, but we do like I'm one of the guys. I do very little, but I know the guys who do the trade deadline thing." And he's like, "Yo, I've done that," and it was so cool because we ended up talking about it.
Did
for
you
like
say
15
I know the
minutes.
guys?
I listen. I'm not gonna get credit. I'm not gonna take credit for the shit that you guys do.
Yeah, but you put.
It's like 5 trades a year.
Well, now you do, but like the very first year, I could not have run the game without you. Like,
Well, I appreciate that.
Like,
But anyway, I was like, yeah, like I help out. But it was so weird to see somebody who had done that in the wild. You know what I
that
mean?
is so
It's
cool.
just-
Yeah. I think you might have mentioned this story before, but it is.
I put it in the Slack.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that. But yeah, that is it's super duper cool, and like I love how much people love this game, and like it's. I don't remember if I got messages last year about it from the mods, but like Asio specifically was messaging me about it like this year, like, "Hey, you guys are bringing the game back this year, right? Like, when are you planning on doing this?" Like, partially, I think because she's a mod of the baseball subreddit, and like, it's a regular feature that they needed to coordinate around, and partially because I think she just really loves the game and was like wanted to know like, "Hey, it's coming back, right? When's it coming back?" Like, because I really want to play. So yeah.
It's so weird. This is such a weird, fun thing that we do. I love it.
Yeah,
It was great. I actually was in Arlington with our guest Bethelta for Dan's birthday party recently.
Yeah, you were.
And explaining to his family how I know him was fantastic. They're like, "Are you one of his baseball friends?" Kind of. It's like adjacent to fake baseball,
It's just-
like fantasy. No.
So much easier to say, yeah, we know each other through baseball. It's fine.
So at the risk of revealing a secret, a long-term joke within our commissioner's Slack has been that at one of our weddings, we will have just a Reddit table where instead of having our real names on place cards, we'll have our
Say RLM jackass and whoa, it's a factorial. I mean, /u
I know.
/whoa, it's a factorial at the table.
I so can't wait for like James Smith, David Price, Walter Smith, and
David
u
Price.
/whoa is a factorial. I so can't wait for that.
And guest.
And guest. Yeah.
Yeah, and guest.
Thank you for plus oneing my wife.
Well, wait. It's your wife? I thought it was your firstborn.
No, he's awful.
Wait, is your firstborn the one that eats the burrito sideways, or is that number 2?
Yes, that is number 1.
Cool.
That is a big one.
Yeah, he's
Which one is the
um,
one that's really possessed?
That would be a little one.
Okay, all right, cool.
So quick story for you guys. So I have 2 kids, big one and little one. I pissed off little one today because I wouldn't let him punch me. So he went down into the basement with all the lights off. He was standing at the bottom of the steps with his iPad sitting in front of him so he could watch his video. But he shut the door too, so he's sitting down there completely in the dark, except for the light of his iPad glowing him a light. So I opened the door and I'm like, what? And then I had to take the picture because the kid looked possessed and I was a little worried. And he just stood there. So I shut the door and I went back to doing what I was doing.
That's incredible. Did you post that in the Slack? I didn't see it. I see it. I see it now. I see it. There it is. Yeah. I was probably while I was busy. That's really fucking funny. For what it's worth, my family, because it's such a big part of my life, my family fully understands it. I'm like, yeah, so you know the baseball user trade thing I do? My mom's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, so that's this week. Okay, great. So I'm gonna be busy. All right.
So my mom was one of the people watching this stream, and she was like, I like these people. They're your kind of people. And I legitimately messaged her. There were a couple of messages in between that would require too much background. But I was like, no joke, if you're interested in these people, later on in the week, I will send you a link to join this chat if you want. You can embarrass me. I don't care. Like,
are we gonna have Jack's mom in Slack?
You might. I don't think you will, but you might.
We're gonna create General 2 that's secret. That's away from Jack's mom.
we can give her like a temporary invite. Yeah.
I honestly,
just
say in general, I don't mind if my mom sees.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying that is a new Slack feature of like one of the more recent updates. You can like have a channel that people can like temporarily be in. So we'll just call it Mom Chat. And
that's
cool.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Now, can you check your DMs on Discord?
Sure can.
Thank you.
Yes, that's a thing I can do. Give me a moment.
Will do. Thank you.
When you get a chance, can you drop the 4cam? Because I have to call tonight. The children I was just speaking of will be up in about 5 hours, and I'm gonna have to deal with that.
Yes,
oh
I
dear
can
Lord,
do that as well. Give me a second. I actually got to drop to 3cam because Jack needs to take a tinkle.
3cam. All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good night, Jeremy.
Yeah.
All right. See you, Jeremy.
This is the 3cam with Jeremy. Hold on.
Sleep well, old line woodworking.
Old line would work.
Woodwork. My apologies.
Are you still using OBS for this?
Sure am.
Nice.
It's funny that like because I didn't realize I never considered how to do, like put graphics and stuff on OBS until you did it, and I was like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Yeah, so it's just
that shit won me awards, man. So, which I still don't have the hardware for, but one day.
Yeah, you spend 10 minutes in Photoshop, and it's pretty straightforward.
It was, man, those early days when we were trying to, we were just on we were streaming to a YouTube. So this is like very much behind the curtain, but like last year, Niam and a couple other people and I were like trying to figure out how the fuck to use OBS in these strange times, as to quote Bo Burnham. And we would just spend hours like testing out scenes and things like that, streaming to a unlisted YouTube, and I can't remember if I've deleted it. So that's somewhere out there, trying to figure all this nonsense out. But it looks great. I really like it.
Yeah. Like I said, you did that thing in OBS, and I was like, oh yeah, I can. That's easy to just make a Photoshop plate, and that's how we started doing Speakeasy, Pub Quiz, and then obviously, this is again, it's the flag of Buffalo on one layer, and then delete a couple of rectangles out and put the cameras behind it.
Yeah, I also like the outlines that we've got on the.
Yeah, just to sort of give it a little bit of separation. Yeah.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. It's also, I think I noticed a little bit of transparency there too.
There may or may not be on some versions of the shot. There was on the Colorado version. I didn't put it on the Buffalo version, but I don't know. Photoshop was being weird, and I was trying to do it quick. So,
Oh, the boxes were in Photoshop.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's literally just a Photoshop image on top of the cameras.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk later.
Yeah,
about this. But that's curious. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh, what did I just do? I think I might have. I don't know what I just did. Oh, I think I invited somebody to a server by mistake. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing in Discord. My God, it is late now. I am giving a link to one more person to join.
Right.
So we can go back up to a 4 or 5 shot in a moment. Let me just we'll call Jeremy Skype something else for that. Yeah, I think we're now in post talk. That was we have exhausted discussion about the trade deadline stuff, and people are starting to dip like Jeremy. So, yeah, good show, everyone. Good day. It was a good day of trading. It was fun.
It was a good day. I have a question.
I have an answer.
And I want to hear Niam's answer. I want to hear Kuan's answer. I want to hear the Orioles
Karamat?
GM whose name
Yeah.
Karamat's answer. And then I want to hear the chat's answer too, which is if you were to Niam, you've already answered this, I think, but if there were a draft of all fast foods, like everything on the menu from every fast food restaurant, what would go first overall? And so now this is one of the things. This is very important. I've heard some people answer things like, "Oh, well, I really like Jack in the Box's fries." It's like, okay, fine. Like, I understand that you really like that, but that's going to be on the board in like the fourth round. So let's give that up. Give me your number one overall that you don't think is going to be there in second, third, fourth.
Real quick, Khaleesi now joining us on the stream, so I'll let her go first. What would be your
welcome.
number one pick in a draft of fast food items? Items, not restaurants, just the item from the restaurant.
Yes.
Burger King chicken fries.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are
disagree.
great.
They are. And you know what? Whenever I'm traveling, like, I usually stop at Burger King
Okay.
for their chicken fries.
I'm gonna go with strong disagree here.
Come
They're
on,
always, without fail, disappointing to me.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. Like the idea of them is great, and when they're done correctly, they're
Yeah.
great. But they're so
Yes.
very rarely done correctly.
Oof.
I'm with Naim here.
I
in
agree with you.
concept,
I agree with you, Jack.
have so much promise,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and without fail, they fall short of that promise.
Okay,
That's been
so
my experience too. Yeah.
what I like about them is the spice that they add to them.
Okay. So justify the first overall though.
Yeah, it's just they have the
Mm.
spice.
Middle of the second round, I wouldn't question it.
Right.
First
That's what I'm saying.
overall,
That's what I'm saying.
No, here's the thing, right? Like, so I think for me, honestly, on the same token, this is not my pick, but on the same token, something like White Castle chicken rings, those are more consistent, and it's a similar vibe, but they're more consistent. Like the Burger King chicken fries, I feel like they want to be crispy, and they rarely are, whereas the White Castle
that's
chicken
a
rings
problem with
are.
them. Ooh,
Ca-
I actually have not had White Castle ever.
Fair enough. Karamat, what would your 108 pick be?
I guess I'm too knowledgeable. I would probably go McDonald's fries.
That is my
pretty
pick as
good.
well, and Dan and I argued about
It's
this.
Ooh, McDonald's fries are so good.
Like Dan,
I don't understand.
Dan is so against this, but for me, McDonald's fries first overall, no question.
It doesn't make any sense to me because first of all, fries are a side; they're not like a thing. But like, I'm not a McDonald's fries person. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell has a whole podcast about it. It's a whole thing. But
Like, and
Dan,
the thing
can I
is, right?
suggest-
Because you can't wait, right? McDonald's fries are best at their freshest. If you go and get a meal from McDonald's, like you eat the fries before you eat your burger.
oh, no question. No question about that. And also, I agree with you. Like, you know, if you're at the counter and, you know, they like give you a tray. I don't know if they do trays anymore even, but like if there's like a bag and it's like steaming hot and you sit down, those fries are ace. Like, no doubt about it. Do you really think that is worth a first overall pick? Is that the Adrian Peterson?
100%.
I will
That's
say
the Shohei Ohtani of fast food. Is that really what that is?
I will say, if they are brand new and steaming hot, yes. However, you never get that experience without asking.
Disagree. I get it all the time. Maybe I just have good McDonald's around me. Also, a bit of a... I don't know if this is it feels kind of dickish to fast food workers, which I don't like to do. However, if you ask for them with no salt and then put the salt on yourself, they will always make them fresh.
No.
I don't like...
I can see that.
I don't necessarily agree with doing this, because then you have to drop a whole new batch of fries. However,
I am with the rest of the world on this. No.
No,
Because
listen,
no.
I get
wait,
it.
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying with the rest of the world on this. What do you mean no? Because no.
I'm with the rest of the world in that, with few exceptions, the rest of the world will not ask to have an entirely new batch dropped with no salt just to add salt yourself.
Okay, so I have seen this as a one of those life pro tips.
Yeah. For what it's worth,
So it's a legit thing
I don't do
that
it.
people
Yeah, first of all, a lot of people do it. Two things. I don't do it because I really never have had to. Like, if they're really bad, then I might turn back around and be like, hey, these fries are super stale. Can you maybe drop a new batch? But 9 times out of 10, I have not had trouble getting fairly fresh fries. However, with dropping the new batch, if they do the unsalted, first of all, they're not going to do a full batch, they'll do a half batch. And then once they give you your unsalted fries, they will then salt the fries to sell them to the next person. So like that because we did that.
Yeah.
It's not a big
We did
deal.
that at AMC all the time. People would ask for unsalted popcorn. We would push the salted popcorn over, make a half batch of unsalted popcorn, give it to them, and then mix it all in with the salted one so that it was then regular salted popcorn. I understand, and I don't disagree that it might fall under the umbrella of being a jerk to food service workers, and I agree that if that's your qualm, I don't disagree that that's a qualm. And I also, once again, I do not do it. I have never felt the need to do it because I've always gotten fresh fries or fresh enough fries that it's not a problem for me. Occasionally,
Also,
I don't, but...
So
everyone
okay,
say hi
so
to
we
Layla.
have- Hey, Layla.
Hi.
Okay, so we have McDonald's fries, and
Burger
King
King
chicken fries.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trend.
Mr. Mariners himself. What are we thinking? Mr. Submariner himself.
Ooh. So, discounting the last two, my number one overall, despite not fully knowing what the category is, he said, pausing, hoping someone would give him the category, but no one did.
Drafting. If you're going to draft fast food items, what is your items from fast food places? What is your
Fast
number
food
one
items?
Single item from
Yeah.
any fast food place.
single item from any fast food
Ooh.
place first overall?
I just found a
First
third guitar
overall.
pick. How did I not find any of these 2 hours ago? What is happening?
First overall,
What are you doing
can
when
I
you're
say
not talking, but you're finding these things? Are you cleaning?
No, I'm just fidgeting.
All right.
first individual item overall, can I suggest Wendy's Chicken Nuggies?
Wendy's chicken nuggets are very good.
Their nuggets are great. The rest of it lets them down, but the nuggets
Spicy
themselves are
nuts.
great.
Their
Are we doing
spicy
spicy
nuts
nuts, or are we doing regular nuts?
better.
I'm gonna say regular because I don't love their spicy.
I
ones.
would like to say
But
that
I will
I
accept
feel like you-
that spicy might be better for some
I
people.
feel like you get both. I feel like you're allowed to have both
Mhm.
as a single pick because it's just like an extra sort of spice on top of the existing thing.
Okay. Okay.
Like it's
Okay.
it's the difference between quarter pounder with and without cheese.
All
Okay,
right.
you all remember when Burger King had those crown-shaped chicken nuggets?
Mm.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know.
I've not thought of
No,
those in
I don't.
years.
They were the best. No, they're crown-shaped chicken nuggets. They were above all. because again, they had that like really good spice to them, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was a good balance, like they have on their chicken fries.
I have rarely
were
been
more
satisfied
consistent.
with my experience going to Burger King, except for like they have a. It is indeed a Hershey pie, which also has another connotation to it, but it's a Hershey's pie. It's what it is, and that's good, but that's not something they make. Like it sits in a freezer and it gets shipped to them in a box, and it sits in a cooler, and then they give it to you. That's really tasty. But Dan, what was your
So-
first overall? I don't remember.
My first overall is the Oh shoot! You know what? So listen. So there's like a kind of a story behind this, which is that I never had Taco Bell in my life until my girlfriend took me there when I was in Cleveland, Ohio, visiting her.
Cleveland.
And she was like, it was like we were like drunk, and she was like, "Are you ready for the most amazing experience of your life?" And we went to Taco Bell, and it was. But also, I think like we all agree that. Well, so listen. Anybody in person I've ever met has said that where the fuck is it? What is it called? It's the Crunchwrap Supreme. That's what it is. Crunchwrap Supreme, I think, is the number one, first overall, best fast food item.
Okay, if we're talking Taco Bell, we need Reno in here.
This is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. So Taco Bell is very much involved in this discussion. Like, it doesn't have to be limited to like burger joints or whatever. Like, it needs,
Mm-hmm.
so it needs to be
No,
national.
I'm not limiting to burger joints either. Like, I think Taco Bell is worthy of a selection if that's what you pick. There is nothing at Taco Bell that I like. First of all, Taco Bell took away my go-to item, which was the Mexican pizza. I would always get a Mexican pizza and two Doritos Locos Tacos. Doritos Locos Tacos, by the way, a excellent innovation. Perfect for Taco Bell. Also, Baja Blast. If we want to call Baja Blast an
Baja
item,
Blast. No, Baja Blast, actually, yes. That
Like-
would take number one if we call that an item.
So I'm not gonna. I'm going to say something that might be controversial for the trade deadline. But let's say, for example, I had been in Alexandria and not in Colorado. There is a Taco Bell cantina about
Yes.
6 blocks from. Do we know what a Taco Bell cantina is?
yes, they
It is a
sell
I
Taco
booze.
Bell
do
that
not.
serves alcohol. It is amazing.
Oh my god, that
They
sounds
will,
amazing.
they will spike your Baja Blast with tequila or vodka or gin.
Yep.
So there's one
I
Cleveland
take
that I have
all of
walked
it back.
past.
That is clearly the winner.
It is.
Well, that
it is
that
the
can't
best
count. You can't obviously cannot count that. I like it's if you want it to, like, nothing wrong with it, but you can't count that as part of the things, like as
Okay.
part of the
Wait,
fast food
Can't
menu
get a
item.
double tequila shot.
Yeah. Can I get a double
Baja
tequila shot in my Baja Blast?
Rice
Like,
potato soft tacos are the goat. Cheesy bean and rice burritos, add sour cream, and grilled are second.
yeah, I don't know. There are menu items I like at Taco Bell. First of all, and I also will say that if you don't, if you go to Taco Bell and you get anything besides a Baja Blast with your Taco Bell, I do not trust you. Like,
Of course, because the Baja Blast is the best thing at Taco Bell.
It's designed. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, so, like, one of our friends in our Slack, Jake, loves Taco Bell, goes all the time, but he also really loves Baja Blast and drinks it outside of going to Taco Bell. Like, he'll get the bottled Baja Blast, stuff like that. It's fine. If you like Baja Blast, you like Baja Blast. I get it. I don't begrudge you if you don't drink Baja Blast outside of the Taco Bell. However, if you are
But
going
if
to Taco
you're
Bell,
at Taco
especially
Bell,
if you're
you
getting
need to
Mountain
drink a
Dew,
Baja Blast.
like if you're getting plain Mountain Dew with your Taco Bell, what
Ew,
world are you
why?
living on?
So
There are times when I will go to Taco Bell only for the Baja Blast.
So, so we were at this. I went like, let's say theoretically, I wasn't in Chicago, and I was in Alexandria last weekend.
Colorado, you're in Colorado.
Yeah, sorry, Colorado. We were down on the wharf, which is 10 minutes down the road. Like Potomac River going by, we were having some drinks, and we walked back, and about halfway between where I live and where I did live, and where we were is this Taco Bell. So we get in around 1:30 at this Taco Bell. All the bars are closed, and we're like ordering Baja Blast with tequila in them, and the guy behind the counter says, "If you give me a tip in person, I'll put it in to-go cups for you."
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
I'm not admitting to anything.
Anyway, so Dan saved a life in Alexandria, Virginia the other week. Jack,
Really
I think you
fucked
have to head out.
What's that?
So we appreciate having you, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Thank you very much. I have been awake for somewhere around 22, 23 hours.
Yeah, Jack
I
needs
need to
sleep.
go to
God,
bed.
Jack, go to
Yeah.
bed.
Jack is going to bed. Jack, good night.
Good
Night.
night, Jack.
If I can't go to sleep, I might rejoin post stream. But
I don't think there's gonna be a post stream. I think this is stream post show, and after this, I think I'm gonna start to drop off soon. Yeah. Good night, Jack.
guys.
Night, Jack.
Good talking as always. Last thing that I want to mention, because Taco Bell Cantina actually does have a connection to the trade deadline game. And that is the very first year the trade deadline game was also the year that we did the r/baseball meetup here in Chicago, which is organized by Cardiff Lorda, who is a submod, and also at the time lived in, I don't remember if he lived in the suburb of Chicago or if he lived all the way in Rockford, but he lived close enough to Chicago that he was able to get like really good group rates for Cubs tickets. So a bunch of people, it was mostly Cub fans and people who came up from Central Illinois, but some people flew out, including a lot of our friends from the very first trade deadline game, Destiny Bond, Jimothy Riggins, F-117 Nighthawk, and former friend of the show because he may not be legally be allowed to be a friend of the show anymore, Dr. Tyler Birch. Tyler and I both lived in the area. The other three flew out, along with Drumline 17, who wasn't a trade deadline person, but was a friend through Rocky's stuff. So they all flew out, and the very first night, like, Nighthawk basically lands. We pick her up from the airport, and she goes, "I want to go to the Taco Bell Cantina." Because at the time, there were only, I think, 2 in the country. I think it was just here in Vegas. I don't remember if Vegas was the other one or whatever. Here and one other one. There was 1 or 2 in the country, and she was like, "I want to go to Taco Bell Cantina." So that's the very first thing we did. So if Dan, you might remember the picture of all of us.
Yep.
That famously the comment of somebody like calling us all
I know.
the R slur, and saying like,
Yeah.
"Isn't Nighthawk the girl in the middle?" Like,
What?
It was, first of all, it's 2015, and also the guy was an idiot, and I think we did ban him from our Cardinals.
Good.
But I don't remember. Whatever. Beside the point. But it was like, isn't Nighthawk the girl in the middle? I'm surprised you let her hang out with you. Anyway,
What?
It was really dumb. The guy was an idiot. I'm fairly certain we banned him. I don't remember exactly, but that picture was taken in the entryway of the Chicago Taco Bell Cantina. The weirdest thing,
Okay.
the very weirdest experience of my life was walking to the Taco Bell Cantina. It was like a Saturday night, and there was a bouncer outside, and his shirt said "bouncer" on the back, and it was Taco Bell on the front. It was a lime green Taco Bell bouncer shirt, which is the funniest thing in the world to me. A lime green I want that. I want a lime green Taco Bell bouncer shirt. But yes, that is the connection of the Taco Bell Cantina to the R baseball trade deadline game. A lot of us, the very first place that Nighthawk wanted to go to was the Taco Bell Cantina, which is funny because right before that, Tyler and Destiny Bond and I had because he landed first. So, and I didn't live very far from the airport, so I was like, all right, I'll pick you guys up from the airport, no problems. I picked him up from the airport, and then we went and hung out with Buffalo Wild Wings for a little while, and then Nighthawk landed and was like, "I want Taco Bell Cantina." It's like, well, I guess, yeah, we can eat more.
So I was in Cleveland last week. Yeah, week before last. Shit, time flies. And we have a Taco Bell Cantina in downtown. So Reno is a huge Taco Bell fan, as he will tell you. And so, of course, as I walked past the Taco Bell Cantina, I had to send a picture to Reno.
In fact, I was in Boston a couple weeks ago, and Joe was like, "Do you want to go to the Taco Bell Cantina?" And I'm like, I've been to a Taco Bell cantina and I don't drink, so there's no real value in it for me. But if you want to go, we can go.
It's Taco Bell. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
like
Yeah, if you don't drink, it's just a normal Taco Bell.
Well, yeah, and then there's the novelty of it. Like, oh, this is neat, but like I got the novelty factor already, so it's like, well, it's,
Yeah.
And if there were like other people around, then I'd be like, oh, maybe yeah, sure. I'm cool with being the one sober person in a group of like 2 or 3 people, but I'm not cool with being the one sober person in like just 2 of us. Also,
Yeah.
we did have an edible before, so neither of us were sober. But also, we were approached by what I believe.
Taco Bell.
We're pretty sure we were
Only
approached
time
by a
to go to Taco
prostitute.
Bell.
We're not sure. We think she was a prostitute. Anyway,
Oh,
I don't know.
I need to
Very
hear the
first time.
story.
There's not really a story. We were sitting down because my feet were hurting, and we were like, "Yeah, let's just sit down for a little bit." I have my backpack with my laptop in it, like because I needed to do. Actually, I needed to edit the Our Baseball podcast on the drive home. So because I was staying with my cousins in Boston, and they live about like 45 minutes to an hour outside of Boston. So I was like, "Great, okay, so I'll hang out in Boston, and then as we're driving home, I'll tell my cousin, hey, I just gotta edit some, can't talk, no big deal. Okay, cool. So I'm carrying all my stuff with me. My feet are hurting. We sit down because we were walking a lot down throughout Boston. I think I ended up with like 20,000 steps that day. So like definitely close my circles. Which by the way, the Google Fit app does have circles now. So I can close my circles. They're at 0 now because it's past 12 midnight here
Nice.
in the
Nice.
Central Time Zone. But
I'm 11:30.
was that 11:30? Yes, 11:30 in the Mountain Time Zone. Yes, but unfortunately,
Jeez,
my
it's
watch
10:35.
my watch lives in the Central Time Zone, and so it has reset the day. Yeah. In fact, the next day I had a blister on my foot because I wore Vans because I didn't think we were gonna be walking so much. If I known we were gonna be walking more, I would have worn my Adidas. But I wore skateboarding shoes. Anyway, so we're sitting down. There's a guy who I think was homeless sitting near us, which is like, yeah, cool, whatever. This guy's sitting there, no big deal. And then a woman approaches us and just starts like mumble talking, and like she looked like she may have used meth many, many times. We couldn't tell what she was saying, and Joe just started like speaking French to her to be like, we don't speak English. He's like, je ne parle anglais. Allez-vous to me. I'm like, okay, I know allez-vous means let's go, and also I realized that we want to be out of the situation. So we basically walked another block down away from where what we're pretty sure was a prostitute. We're not positive, but it sure felt like that's what was happening.
Love it.
And on that bombshell, I think we should probably wrap up the stream. Thank you everybody for joining us. Karamat, thanks for being here for the full 2 hours and 2 minutes now that we've been live.
Well, yeah, no, thanks for having me. Great to be on.
Cheers.
Khaleesi, thanks for joining us here at the end. And Dan, I'm sure we'll see more of you if you're not too busy.
Yeah, my set will probably change over the next couple of days.
Yeah, because you're moving to Buffalo.
Dimension.
Hey,
Yeah.
and
'Cause I gotta
I'm
go to
always
Buffalo, you
down
gotta
to join
get it,
Stram.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
So-
for the 5 people still watching us, thanks for watching. Thanks for
Bye.
sticking with us. And we'll see you tomorrow for more Trade Deadline